Every time you step onto an escalator, you're standing on something that looks strangely designed. Those steps aren't flat. They're covered in grooves, thin lines running across the surface. And most people never question it. It just feels normal. But those grooves are not for design. They're not just for grip, and they're definitely not random. They exist for a very specific reason, and without them, escalators would be a lot more dangerous than you think. Let me show you. Think about what an escalator is actually doing. It's not just moving people. It's constantly transforming. At the bottom, those steps suddenly disappear. They slide into each other and become a flat surface. Then at the top, they separate again, forming steps. This transformation is happening continuously, every second. And that's where the real problem begins. Because when steps flatten, they create tiny gaps, small openings between moving metal parts, and anything loose can get pulled into those gaps. Shoelaces, clothing, loose fabric, even small objects. And once something gets caught, it doesn't stop. It gets pulled in very quickly. Now imagine if the steps were completely flat, smooth, no grooves at all. Everything on top would have more contact with the surface, more friction, which means a higher chance of getting dragged into those gaps. That's where the grooves come in. Those lines reduce surface contact. They break that smooth connection. So instead of sticking, things are more likely to slide. And sliding is much safer than getting caught. But that's only part of the story. Because the grooves also do something else. They control what you don't see. Dust, water, tiny debris. If the surface was flat, all of that would sit on top, making it slippery or interfering with movement. But with grooves, those particles fall into the gaps. They get guided away from the main surface, helping the escalator stay clean and function smoothly. Now, here's something most people never notice. Look closely at the edges of an escalator step. You'll see those grooves line up perfectly, with the comb plate at the top and bottom. That metal plate with teeth. As the escalator moves, the grooves slide directly into those teeth, almost like a zipper closing. This alignment is extremely precise, because the gap between the step and the comb plate has to be just right. Too wide, and objects can get pulled in. Too tight, and the system jams. So the grooves act like guides. They make sure every step enters smoothly, every single time, without misalignment. And here's a small detail that makes a big difference. Those grooves also help you feel stable, even if you don't realize it. They subtly increase traction for your shoes, especially when the surface is slightly wet. So while they reduce grip for loose objects, they still give controlled grip for your feet, which is exactly what you want. Safety without instability. Now think about how many people use escalators every day. Thousands. Millions. And yet, serious accidents are relatively rare. That's not luck. It's design. Small decisions, carefully engineered, working together silently. And here's the interesting part. Most people think safety comes from big features. Emergency stop buttons, handrails, warning signs. But in reality, it often comes from tiny details. Things you don't even notice. Like these grooves. Something so simple, yet doing multiple jobs at once. Reducing risk. Guiding movement. Keeping the system clean. Maintaining precision. All at the same time. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Because now, every time you step onto an escalator, you'll look down and realize those lines aren't just there for looks. They're part of a hidden system designed to keep you safe without you ever thinking about it.